Hello.
I'm backstage having a shit.
We're live, mate.
That's all right.
Hello, everyone. Nicky Hawkins, West Ham Fan TV. Ryan, I've got a little surprise for you here.
Go on, mate. Well,
Right,
you ain't got a new striker, have you?
No. Just watch your screen.
Go on.
Ready? Boom.
Oh, look at that. Shall I move over a bit? I'll move over a little bit. You're getting too good with this, mate.
Right, I'm gonna make this a bit smaller. No, I don't like that.
No, I like that. Go on. I'll sit next to Pellegrini, the man.
Better than Sky Sports, mate, because all we're doing is talking about West Ham. So transfer deadline day, mate. Transfer deadline day. Been eventful, really.
Yeah. I mean, we done our business early, didn't we? We got our striker in, a Jetta. What's his name? A Jetty. It's a Jetty, isn't it?
A Jetty, yeah.
Yeah.
A Yeti, I think his name is.
A Yeti. He's a Yeti. But yeah, no, look, as we said the other day, mate, I don't really know too much about him. I looked at his record. He's got a good goal scoring record. Obviously comes highly rated. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I think maybe him coming in might see Hernandez leave over the next few weeks because obviously the European window's still open. So it might. But overall, if you sum up the summer transfer window for us with the incomings, I'd give it a sort of 7 out of 10. I think we could have done with a bit more, maybe defensive midfield and probably another left back. But look, it is what it is until January now. We've got to get on.
Can everyone see us? Because people are saying, where are we at? We're here already. Just let us know if you can see us in the chat. Yeah. Oh shit. We put hell out. We spelt it wrong. Look up here.
Oh, that's you, mate, not me.
Oh, fucking hell.
Don't blame
Can
me.
we believe it?
Take your stupid graphics off.
I think we'll just we'll be fine, I'm sure. Yeah.
So only the smart ones are going to clock on.
Look at my face. No pixel.
Oh yeah, how'd you do that?
No, don't worry about that.
Look at Nicky having the afternoon off work and doing graphics and getting rid of
I never
pixels.
had the afternoon off. I was in work all the time.
Yeah, I bet you was.
Yeah. So look, the transfer window, I think it's got to go down as a very successful window for me. I'm just happy about the business, and I'm very, very positive about the season. Ayeti has got something like he signed this morning, Ryan. I sort of like went live this morning when he signed. We was expecting him to sign, but his goal scoring record is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's got. Is it 1 in 2? He's got any or something? One in 2 goal scoring record. Look, people will turn around and say, "Oh yeah, but it's the Swiss league," and but you can only score in the league you're playing in. So if he comes here and he gets his chance, he's got. It's a massive opportunity for him in his career. He's playing in the Premier League now for a big club. So look, it's a massive opportunity. Let's just hope he takes it because he could turn out to be a flop. It could turn out to be a great find.
What I do like about the signings this summer, Ryan, I always don't like to blow too much smoke up their arse because they're only one sort of like transfer window away from disaster all the time. But what I do like is that we've gone for players with a lot of years left in them. Do you know what I mean? We haven't gone out and signed sort of like, I remember like Marco coming in. Marco was a good player, but he's sort of 30 now, coming up 31. And every player that we've signed this window, you look at the players in Heller, he's about 24, 25. Fornals is 23. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
Ayeti is 22. Cardoso is 20. No, he's not. He's 18, isn't he?
Yeah.
Martin obviously came in a bit older. Roberto, obviously a bit older. But every player we've played is sort of like not one for the future. They look like they can slot in now. There might be players in front of them, but the future looks very good with these players if they carry on this way.
Yeah, put it this way. I mean, there's loads of players that have been on a free transfer that a few seasons ago, especially under maybe Sam Allardyce or even David Moyes, we would have signed them like the Welbecks, the Sturridge, players like that. But we've gone for young players. They're signing for not only next season, they're signing to build for the next 3 or 4 seasons. So it's exciting times at West Ham. I just hope they can all settle in quick. I've heard the stories about Fornals, how impressive he's been in training, and Pellegrini, is surprised with his quality already. So I'm looking forward to him doing it on the pitch for West Ham.
Absolutely, mate. Hello to everyone in the chat. What's gone on? Something's come on. Jesus Christ.
You remember you got to log out of Pornhub?
Yeah, I remember that. Hello to everyone in the chat, guys. Listen, you want to get involved in a transfer? Listen, I like transfer deadline day. One player that's gone back to Newcastle is our old mate Andy Carroll. What do you think about that, mate?
Yeah, I've just. The thing is, from the first day he signed to even now, he still splits the fan base. I tweeted out about an hour ago wishing him luck. It's been unfortunate the last few seasons, but look, he was an important part of that last at the Boleyn season. It's probably the most games he played in the season for West Ham, and it come in that season. So I wish him luck. Obviously, I don't wish him luck when he plays against us, but look, he's gone home. Maybe it's the move he needs. Go up there and. It's a shame, but people got to remember he hasn't walked out on West Ham. He was released by West Ham, so I don't get the hate towards him on Twitter earlier. But look, as I said, he splits the fan base. Sorry, some people love him, some people hate him. I wish he would have played more for us. Of course, I do. But I'm just gonna remember the good times, the important goals he scored, the hat trick against Arsenal, the winner against Chelsea when the Boleyn erupted, and of course the overhead kick against Palace.
KM, we're starting with a little bit of negativity here. While the window has been successful one, we cannot overlook that our 2 reserve keepers are crap. The hard work done in buying the other players could easily be undone if Fabianski can't play. Do you agree with that?
No, look, Fabianski is an important player for us. He's obviously Hammer of the Year. He's a great goalkeeper, and of course we want him fit. But look, if he ain't fit, then we've got to get behind Roberto. And as I've said, and I've not been impressed with him, but I wasn't impressed with Adrian when we first signed him. I wasn't impressed with Randolph when we first signed him, and they turn out to be half decent goalkeepers. So
yeah, I agree. Heavenly Haller says, hello lads, like the cheeky setup. Hello mate, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us in the chat today. Macaulay French, England International, Welbeck and Danny Rose are going to clubs they can try to redeem their careers. What do you think? I don't know, who did Danny Rose go to? Atletico Madrid?
No, Danny Rose is still at Tottenham.
Yeah, I don't think
he went anywhere. Kieran Trippier left. Obviously, Welbeck signed for Watford, which was he could turn out to be a good signing. Maybe we missed out on him, but I like seeing us go for like a Yeti, whatever his name is, just to go with the youngsters. 2
players that we seem to have missed out on. And I shouldn't really talk about them really because we missed out on them. Was Aaron Moy went to Brighton on loan, which I think is a decent signing, seeing as we still needed a midfielder. And Danny Drinkwater, which I'm very surprised about because I've been telling you like all summer I don't think they'd let him go, has gone to Burnley on loan. Do you think we could have fought for them?
Yeah, either one of them would have been a great addition to the squad. I've been a big fan of Aaron Moy since Huddersfield come up to the Premier League. I like the way he plays football. Danny Drinkwater would have been a good sort of player to have in the squad. Burnley have done well to get him, and Brighton have done well to get Moy. I think it's a loan deal for the season. So
Thomas says, look, I'll just plug this up. Drinkwater is in £100,000 a week.
Yeah, I'm sure Chelsea are going to be paying some towards that. I can't see Burnley paying 100 grand a week. So yeah, they've probably maybe pay 50-50 or whatever. But look, maybe it's the move that they both needed. And yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get in a defensive midfielder. I know we was linked with Callum Chambers, Arsenal earlier in the day, who can play centre back and centre defensive mid. We've been linked with loads over the summer, but look, it is what it is now. This is our squad. We just got to prepare, get ready for the season now. Big game on Saturday, and yeah, who knows?
I don't feel like we've missed out, if that makes sense. I don't think we're sort of like, I don't know. There's been times when the window's closed and I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, we're going to struggle this year. But I don't know. I just don't feel like we will this year.
No, but look, we've got key players back from injury. Obviously, Jack Wilshere, Lanzini, Yarmolenko. So they're like new signings anyway. So yeah, look, Pellegrini said he's happy with his squad. He's got 2 players for each position, which you want. Obviously, we've got players that are going to be challenging the starting 11 to break into the first team that are decent players. So yes, look, we're in. I think we're in for a good first half of the season, and then if we get to January and we need to bring in a couple more players or get rid of a few, then that's when we can do it.
Luke Carr says, I'm a Newcastle United fan, and I think you guys have had the best transfer window in the Prem. I don't know, there's been some saucy ones today. I think Arsenal have had a very good window.
Arsenal have had a great window.
And
I think
to be honest with you, I think Newcastle have had a decent window after the way it started.
Yeah, Newcastle, obviously they signed that Brazilian for a lot of money. But look, the Andy Carroll ones, it's a 50-50, isn't it? You could get an Andy Carroll that will play 20 games a season, or he could be out for the season. So it's a big risk, but look, he's happy to be home. And I honestly, I wish him well. I hope it works out for him. I hope that when Andy Carroll, if he plays against us at London Stadium, gets a good reception from the crowd.
Diamudo Keith says, should Grady have stayed? Now, we haven't really spoke about this, have we? My pick for Young Hammer of the Year, who I thought was going to have a really good season, fucked off earlier on. He went to West Brom, joined Slav at West Brom. I'll be honest, once I thought about the deal, Ryan, I thought it's only good things for Grady.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised we let him go. I thought he'd have been a key squad player this season. But look, it's a great move for Diagana. He's going to a good club. They've pulled off some great signings. They signed Charlie Austin as well today. Obviously, Slaven Bilic and Dixie are there, so we know them. And I think he's in for a good season. And the Championship's a tough league. It will toughen him up a bit,
Yeah.
So and when he comes back next summer, he could be an even better player.
Oh, bless me.
Bless you, mate. I felt that from here.
Oh, yeah, that wet rock through my spine, that. Cheers says, are either you concerned about Lanzini's contract situation? Now, we haven't really spoke about this much on the channel, have we? He is coming into the last year of his contract. Doesn't seem to be sort of a solution just yet on the horizon. Do you think they're sort of dicing with death a little bit here?
I think, me personally, I think that's going to be the next announcement, Lanzini's new contract.
What, in the next couple of days?
And I think that will just top the summer off for me. Lanzini seems happy at West Ham. They just got to get him tied down. Get him tied down now. I think he's happy that he wants to sign a contract. So get it done, because next summer we'll be losing a massive player for us.
Ian Smith says, it's my ambition to get a question on screen. There you go, mate. Ambition fulfilled. Ironworks felt like we could have done with a new left back, but other than that, I'm happy we cleared out the deadwood and toxic players like Arnie and improved on areas. Listen, I think the fullbacks are for the next window. Maybe not January, but I think they'll be high on the list next year. I think that's where we will need improvement.
Yeah, I mean, 17 players have left the club over the summer, so we've obviously there's loans and youngsters that have gone, but yeah, the main ones obviously are Arnautovic, Carroll, Obiang, Fernandez, Sami Nasri. I think we've done well to replace these players. What are you laughing at?
Ian Smith says that wasn't a question, though. I just put his comment up on screen and he said that wasn't a question. I'll get a question in, mate. I'll put it up. James Allen says we should have gone in for Danny Rose, maybe.
Yeah, the problem we've got with Danny Rose is that I think it's a reason why we didn't have any chance with Wanyama, because Tottenham won't deal with us. It's as simple as that. It's Daniel Levy's. It's too early to say what I want to say, but yeah, no, he's. They just won't deal with us.
I heard that the Wanyama situation wasn't particularly because they won't deal with us. It was more like we couldn't fit another foreigner into our squad, apparently, without shifting one out.
We would have shifted one. If Pellegrini really wanted Wanyama, we'd have made sure we shifted one. You'd have seen the Sanchez down the A13.
Steve Critcher says, evening Nicky and Ryan, are you happy with the window so far? Let Grady go loan and he comes back a better player. Also think we come in top 8. I said top 8. as a few of us said, top 8. Mick Killeen said United done well with the money for getting Lukaku. Otherwise, it's been a poor window for them. Louise will fit in very well with Arsenal. At least 2 mistakes in every game. What's the biggest signing of the window, Ryan? Take West Ham out for a minute. What's the biggest signing of the window?
Scott Carson to Man City.
Oh yeah, what Adrian to Liverpool?
Yeah, I can't believe that he's won the lottery, Scott Carson. Unbelievable. But look, they need their English quota, don't they? But yeah, it's a tough one because there has been some really good signings. But I'm going to go.
Is there a case for Haller?
Yeah, Haller. Fornals could turn out to be the sign in the summer. But Arsenal have done great business with Pepe, Louise. They've got.
They didn't do bad on their budget, did they?
No, they have done well considering they only had 45 million. And there's rumours as well that Lacazette and Aubameyang are going to sign new deals as well. So yeah,
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at Arsenal.
I think United getting that money, 75 million or 72 million for Lukaku is probably the best bit of business.
Yeah, I agree, to be quite honest with you. JDB Football says, since Bilic never given you a chance, do you think Grady would improve much underneath him? That's a good point, as it happens.
Well, the thing is, I think he will get more of a chance in the Championship. In the Premier League, you can't really risk the youngsters that much. In the Championship, you sort of can.
Yeah, so it is sort of a different sort of kettle of fish, isn't it? Like with, when you come to West Brom, who's sitting in the Championship, who, you would expect them to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season, to playing in the Premier League when you're fighting for your life under Bilic. I think it's a bit of a different kettle of fish, to be honest. Some of them clubs in the Championship rely on borrowing players from the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, it's a totally under Bilic with relegation battles and that. You don't want to risk the youngsters. But now, look, I think Diagana will have a great season at West Brom, and you never know, he could help him win promotion. And but I'm looking forward to seeing him back in a West Ham shirt next summer.
Wolves kept the luck of Dendoncker and Jimenez on permanent. I think Everton have also had a strong transfer window. That's a great point.
I'll be honest with you. Can I just say, mate, people are saying about Everton having a great transfer window. They never signed a centre forward or a centre back, which they was desperate for. So, I mean, I don't know who that leaves up front for them.
That King's meant to be quite
but he's only a youngster, isn't he? And then who's the other one they've got? Is it the Turkish international? Is he Turkish? I can't think of his name now.
I can't remember, mate.
The one that missed about 20 chances against us.
What is his name? They wanted to chop him in for someone not too long ago, didn't they?
Yeah, that's it.
Tucson. Yeah, he's rubbish, to be honest. Martin Small says, how do you lads get away with talking football so much? I only put Sky Sports News on for 2 minutes and my missus get the ump. Keep up the good work, boys.
Why do you think Nicky's in the garden? And
I live out here now.
I'm hiding around the corner.
Is it true that David Sullivan wants to buy Bolton, says Edward Denham? I haven't heard about that, mate. I knew there was some sort of financial deal a little while ago. Charlie Robinson says, as Cullen and Grady have gone out on loan, Pellegrini must see something special in Ben Johnson by keeping him in. Breakout season for him.
Well, yeah, in the prediction video, he's my tip for...
He is your breakout player,
isn't he? Young Hammer of the Year sort of breakout player. Yeah, I think it's great that Josh Cullen's gone back to Charlton. Once again, he's going to be playing in the Championship this season, so it's a step up from League One. It's a great move. He's gone to a good club in Charlton. He felt he was comfortable there last season, so I've got a feeling that that's the last we'll ever see of Cullen in the West Ham shirt. I can't see him. He's got a year left on his contract. It hasn't worked out for him, so I think that'll be it for him at West Ham.
Morgs123 says, all right, lads, wondering if you'd rest a couple of players like Wilshere on Saturday in case they get injured because of our chances of getting anything out of the game are unlikely. No, I don't think you should on opening day. I think you should go all out. Everyone should be fresh. Everyone should be fighting fit. And, I don't think you can just sort of like, if you start leaving players out like Wilshere just for the fact that he might get injured, then you won't ever play him. You know what I mean? And
especially with Mark Noble being out as well, I don't think we can leave Jack Wilshere out on Saturday. Who else do you chuck in there? Carlos Sanchez. I don't want to slate Carlos Sanchez, but he's nowhere near the quality of Jack Wilshere.
Simon Homer says, well done, lads. Can I have your thoughts on merch from store? I paid 60 quid for a baby's kit, yet a retailer who have no links with the club sell the same product for 30 minus the name and number. Yeah, there is going to be actually a video coming up about that, where we are sort of like, well, I am sort of going to highlight the fact that these things cost so much. I've got like little bits of footage that I wanted it to do earlier on in the summer, to be quite honest, but I'm going to try and get it out for possibly after the weekend, but I've got loads going on, so might be this weekend, might be next weekend, but I've got the footage I want now. I think I've got the other shirts that I want, so yeah, there will be a video on that. But yeah, I think it's a disgrace, mate, to be quite honest with you. You know, you'll see my thoughts on it.
Yeah, it is, especially like it's bad enough when you got one kid to buy for, but when you got two or three, you know, it really adds up, and it is. Yeah, the kids' prices are ridiculous.
Mulch Mike 128 says, do you think we'll have a rocky start or a solid start? What are your predictions for Sunday? I'm saying 2-2. It's Saturday, so you'll be watching on the wrong day. Yeah, I've got a good feel. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go all out and you know, start saying, oh yeah, of course we're going to beat them. They are the best team in the country at the end of the day, but I think we've got as good a chance as we've ever had.
I'll tell you what, though, mate. A big boost for us is that Sane is out. He's out for
ACL.
He's out for a long time. I mean, I'm not glad that he's injured himself, but obviously he's a key player for City. So, look, let's be honest. If there's 60,000 West Ham there on Saturday and everyone watching around the world, if you offered us all a point now, we'd take it. But there's no reason why we can't give them a game and try to go for all 3 points. What's the point of turning up?
James Allen says, what's happening to Thames Ironworks Community FC? They're still going. They play on Sundays. We try to film their games. They are getting back into the pre-season at the moment, looking for... The thing is that we wanted to do a few more videos before the season started to get it back into the swing of things, because we had a lot of production problems last year. But the only problem is that they haven't got a home ground at the minute. We're looking for a new home ground. So, like, you know, with Scott's obviously runs the side a lot on that side as well. He runs the club. He's sort of the chairman of the club now. And Graham obviously is the manager, one of the managers. They sort of run it on that side of the things. Obviously, Scott lost his brother, so he's sort of like taking a sort of extended break at the moment. I think he might be coming back very soon, but yeah, it's sort of like took a little bit of a hitch, but hopefully, fingers crossed. I've been having discussions with a couple of people involved, and hopefully we'll be getting something up very, very soon. So go and subscribe to them, Thames Ironworks Community FC on Twitter. Simon Homer, following up to the kit debacle, I messaged the club link. All they offered me was the delivery charge back, and even offered to cancel my order. Bad business. Thanks for the reply, boys. No problem, mate. I do think it's yeah, it's a bit of a rip-off. Contact like that's why you do a Nicky special and let them from China for 15 quid. Before you say that, mate, watch my video before you start saying that. I never recommended them Chinese kids. I just sort of mentioned that I bought one. KM 11-1 for us to get a shock win and 11-2 for a draw. Worth a cheeky bet. Yeah, certainly at 11-1. I
see for us to win 3-1 today, 80-1.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And I think City was only like 25-1 to win 5-0.
Fat Shack 34. What's up, Nicky Ryan? Just 2 more days and the wait is finally over. Let's shock Man City at 12:30 on Saturday, and only one thing left to say.
See, that's the spirit, Fat Shack. That is the spirit, mate.
Tim Cummins. So about 80 mil spent. How much did we get back selling dead wood? 45 million, if my memory serves me rightly.
Yeah, I mean, Arnie was obviously the biggest recoup. Well, just quickly talking about Arnie, just what about that story that broke about Noble and Zabaleta?
Do you know what, right? I went to do an interview with them two last night, and as he was telling the story, I didn't really hear it, and I haven't had a chance to sort of like hear it back yet. What was it? Can you tell me in full?
No, but basically, it's that I think it was after the Wolves game. Arnie was obviously his attitude wasn't right, and Zabaleta and Noble have obviously questioned him about his attitude, and he told Noble to sort of shut up. And Noble's obviously it hasn't been confirmed. Hasn't been confirmed that he's chinned him, but I hope he has. I hope he did. But that's what I love about Mark Noble. He loves the club, and he said like to Arnie, if your attitude's not right, it's not right for West Ham.
I'll tell you something now, mate. If he thinks fucking Zabba and Noble were a problem, I wish Ginger Pele would have been in there, because I'm sure he would have fucking knocked that cunt through a wall. Excuse my language. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Do you think we will have a sorry, mate, I do apologise. Do you think we will have a big transfer window in January? Look, the last one shut an hour and a half ago, mate. Let's get through this part of the season.
It also depends how we're doing. I mean, if we're sort of get to January and we're around sort of top 8 and we're battling for Europe, we might need a couple of players just to take us over. But you never know. It's as you said, this window's only just shut, so let's start the season and fingers crossed we're injury wise this season we're lucky.
Mulch Mike 128 says Noble's a great player. He plays for the club and the passion, not for the money like some stupid players like Arnie. Everyone knows Noble is a legend. Heavenly Hell says Orion should get a tattoo with Mark Noble. He's his biggest fan.
Yeah, I might do one day.
One day when he retires. JDB Football, what do you think will be our biggest problem this season?
What do you think will be our biggest problem? I think
celebrated too much after winning. Whee!
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Maybe the biggest problem would be us looking down on everyone when we're top. No, I'm joking. I think it's going to be sort of a leaky defence again. I really do.
Yeah, I do.
I hope they can tighten up and work well together. Fredericks, Balbuena, Diop, and Masuaku look like they're going to be the first choice. So, and obviously Fabianski as well behind them. So yeah, I just hope that ain't our biggest problem, but I think it might be again.
KM says, what's the latest on moving the stands to the pitch? Do you know what? I went to the London Stadium on Saturday, and there were actually some people that were expecting the stands to be right up to the pitch.
Yeah. I think when they mentioned that was a sort of plan for sort of a couple of seasons' time, wasn't it? It wasn't. I think when they released it, I think everyone did think it was going to be next season.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, we'll see how that develops over the next couple of seasons, whether they stick to their word and hopefully.
David Richards clears up your story. Says Nobes and Zab were going around the dressing room saying he needed to step up. Arnie basically said his play wasn't the issue and the rest of them was shit. Everything kicked off.
Go on the Nobes.
Go on the Nobes, yeah. Second year on a trot, the window's closed before the start of the season. Do you prefer this, or would you rather it go to the end of August? Now, the problem with that is, I do agree. I don't know what my answer to this is.
I think it's better.
I like it, but the fact that everybody else's window is open sort of disturbs me a little bit, because you think to yourself, oh, this is the time when they could start tapping people up and blah, 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 blah. But I do prefer it before the Premier League season ends, because I used to hate the fact that you used to be 2-3 games in, then all of a sudden your star striker's going to have to move. And then if it gets unsettled, like you've already started the season, you've already done pre-season and all that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? I think it sort of encourages teams to do things a bit earlier.
Yeah, I agree. And as you said, it does encourage teams to, I mean, deal. If it was at the beginning of August, I mean, say for instance, I don't know, Lanzini had a cracking start to the season, and all of a sudden, come to the end of the transfer window at the end of August, Man City make a move for him. When it's the beginning of the season, that's it. It's done. As you said, it's a bit of a ball ache that the European one stays open for another 3 weeks. But look, West Ham ain't in no position to sell now. We don't need to sell.
Yeah.
The only player really that would leave us probably would be Hernandez.
Yeah. Absolutely. Diamond O'Keefe, Diarmuid. How would you pronounce that, Ryan?
That's what you asking me for. Diarmuid O'Keefe.
Dermot O'Keefe. Will VAR ruin the season, lads?
It will. Yeah. Look, I've made my feelings clear on VAR. I'm not a big fan of it. I wish we could scrap it altogether. But look, it is what it is. It's gonna, of course, it's gonna ruin games. But look, if it goes in your favour, it's gonna be swings and roundabouts next season. Decisions are gonna go our way. But if VAR get it right and it's right, then you just got to hold your hands up, and maybe you will get used to it. But me personally, I'll just scrap it. The only technology I like is goal line technology. I think that's perfect. But look, if next season, if we get a decision go for us against VAR, it'd be the best thing in the world.
It could work one or two ways. It could either make the Premier League more open than it's ever been, because we all see the big team bias, or it could go the exact opposite way and just go in the way of big clubs again.
It's funny though, isn't it? Every ground in the Premier League will show VAR decisions on the screens, apart from Anfield and Old Trafford, because they haven't got screens.
Oh, really? Yeah, of course they haven't. No, they haven't got screens, have they?
It's all done over the tannoids. So, yeah, make of that what you will. But I think if everyone I'm sure there's enough room in them grounds to put a couple of screens up, or one big screen.
I am, of course, not a fan of the stadium move from Upton Park to London Stadium, but I have accepted it, but still won't feel like a real stadium if you always get the feeling of an Olympic type stadium. I think the Olympic stadiums are very what do you call it's at the back of my mind at the minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. It's look, it is where it is now. The move's been done, and that's it. Yeah, we're at the London Stadium now, so it is where it is.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. James Fever says, who's going to be a penalty taker this season if Noble ain't going to be on the pitch? I don't know.
Probably Lanzini's a penalty taker, isn't he? He's taken a few penalties down the years. When Nobes ain't been there.
Yes, absolutely. Ian Smith is obviously a Liverpool fan. Says, Ian, no, Ryan, there isn't no room at Anfield for a screen, and besides, we don't want one. Screens are for front rooms, mate.
All right.
Ruben
Sorry.
Block, who's Nicky Junior's favourite player? So I'm guessing that's you, Jamie. Who's your favourite player?
What, from West Ham?
Yeah.
Probably Lanzini. Or Arnautovic.
Arnautovic is gone, mate. Keep up with the news. Right, off you go in now. Look, show me your t-shirt. We done some test printing on the t-shirts today. Look, he's got a little West Ham Fan TV t-shirt. Go on, in you go.
Okay.
Get the boy on a version. Yeah, try the camera. He's gonna go on, little man.
Also, Sebastian Haller will be a shout for a penalty taker. I think he took him at his previous club. So, yeah, look. Obviously, I want to see Noble taking the penalties, but as long as I don't care who takes them, as long as they put them in the back of the net.
Snoddy was a penalty and a half, wasn't he? See it the other day, the Frankfurt penalties. Haller took Frankfurt's penalty. Apparently, it was pretty awesome. Yeah. I hope the West Ham Fan TV shirt isn't 60 quid. It certainly isn't 60 quid, mate. I promise you that now.
No, it's not. It's 75 quid, including delivery.
No, plus delivery. Austin Cleary says, Heller would take the pens for he did for his old club. Season starting on Saturday. Can't wait, says Alex Beckwith. Boyfriend goes out for 8 in the morning, comes home at 6 the next morning. Do you lads do that too? I'll tell you what, we ain't been far away from it, have we?
Not at my age. Not at my age now.
Listen, it's nothing to do with the drinking or the having a good time. If we're going out at that time in the morning and coming back at that time in the morning, it's purely to do with what we work on. Anything else, Ryan? You got any more business? Did you enjoy the transfer window?
Did I enjoy it?
Yeah.
When we made signings, I did. I haven't enjoyed all the every day looking on and seeing people arguing over Twitter to fight who says things first and the rumours and all that. Now it's all over. All them sort of people now are redundant until January, really.
Absolutely.
It is frustrating when you wake up every morning and you see you're linked with this player, you're linked with that player, and you know sometimes you ain't got no chance. But it's talking points as well, isn't it? We wouldn't have nothing to really talk about in the summer if it wasn't the transfer window. So
yeah, I think it makes to be honest with the rumours, mate, it's just journalists trying to keep themselves relevant. I think most of the rumours, like if West Ham would have signed every person they would have been rumoured to be buying, we'd have a squad of about 67. Don Homer says, I'm going to say it in an Irish accent because he's sort of like made a. Or are we going to get fan cams and post-match points this season, lads?
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah.
Fan cams home and away, post-match pint after every home game, and I don't know what we're doing for away games yet. If it depends where we play. If it's up north, then maybe the people that don't go can get a guest in and film it.
I think that's what we've been talking about. What happened to the long defender?
The American boy.
It was something to do with
work permit, wasn't it?
Work permits. Yeah, it was probably too much to worry about at the end of the day. Does it matter who we buy? Need to stay as one with all players that are here. Come on, you eyes. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. As I said earlier in the show, like, it is what it is now. This is our squad. This is what we've got to deal with until at least January. So we just got to get behind the boys and Pellegrini. You know, there's been a lot of negativity at West Ham over the last 3 or 4 seasons. But now let's get behind them, and hopefully on Saturday we get off to a flyer. You know, it's going to be hard. We know it is. But then we go to teams like Brighton, then we play, who do we play? Norwich, Villa, teams like that. You know, I can't remember the fixture list off the top of my head, but it is, you know, there's winnable games in,
Norwich,
after the Man City
one
game.
of them, isn't it?
Yeah, Norwich at home. So, look, this is as someone just said there, this is our best squad in years.
Absolutely. James Fever says, Gomez seems like a distant memory now. Got so glad Haller in. He plays like David Trezeguet. Listen, I was only thinking this morning. Do you remember all the days and weeks we spent talking about Gomez? We've been talking about Gomez since January, really, in a way.
Mate, I still remember all the weeks and months that we've been talking about Carlos Bacca for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
You always get that, don't you? You get a striker you link with and you're excited to get him in. It doesn't work out, and then you move on to the next one. That's football. And now we've got Sebastian Haller, and hopefully he will be our main man, scoring the goals.
Steve Pritchard says, I came over last year at Ipswich friendly to say hi, but you guys didn't have 5 minutes as I follow post-match paint, all the stuff. I love the channel. I wasn't at Ipswich. Was I?
Yeah, you was there. Ipswich, we had to shoot off straight away.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
we
correct.
did. I had to shoot off because I had to be in Clacton within an hour.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry about that, mate. If you come over again this season, then we will have 5 minutes definitely. Fraser 2005. Could there be a chance of a West Ham Fan TV Fantasy Premier League? If so, give the code. I'll tell you now, mate. Absolutely not.
I can't keep up with it all, mate.
Not.
I've been invited to so many. I've been invited to so many of these in work and things like that. I never keep up with it. I'm all right for the first few weeks, and then I just get bored. And by the time I look at the end of the season, 10 of my players are out injured.
Some channels are looking at it as content. I'm not really looking at it as content. I want to get more deeper content than that, if you know what I mean. James Gunn says, I'm normally negative, but I can't wait for this season. Winning every game 12-10, starting with City. Winning every game 12-10, not 12-10. What am I, American?
I'll take that. 12-10.
Yeah, every week. God, it'd be good, wouldn't it? Jimmy C says, will Brexit impact our signings from Europe in January and next summer? Potential to give British youth a chance on top level again?
That's a good question, because we don't know how it's going to work out, do we? I mean, the country can't even work out Brexit yet. But look, when it happens, I don't think much will change football-wise. Maybe the prices might go up a bit more. That's the only sort of worry.
Yeah, the pound will take a bit of a pounding for a little while, I would imagine. Be more sort of. It'd be better for the players coming here because they get more money for their buck, if you know what I mean. Kai Batchman says Ryan's got a fresh trim.
I have, mate. I had my haircut the other day.
Nurston Henrik says, where do we need to improve the starting 11?
For me, left back. Yeah. Left back's the only thing that worries me. But I'm hoping that Masuaku proves us all wrong, or especially the fans that don't really rate him. I hope that he proves us wrong. That's what we want from our players, to prove us all wrong.
Absolutely. Howard Ingo says, West Ham fans expect the boys to do well when they bring in good signings, but where do you really think we will finish and do this season? I I'm not expecting much. I always think to myself, like I've been expecting loads and loads and loads for the past few years, and I'm just sort of like getting into the point now is if you don't expect much, then anything will be a surprise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, look, the thing is with our squad at the moment, if you looked at it, you think, yeah, that's a good enough squad to reach the top 8. But look, it's all about being consistent and picking up points. More like picking up points away from home, what we don't do a lot of in the last couple of seasons.
Adam Jessup says, Nicky, seems like you've had a fresh trim as well. That's mal-pattern baldness, mate, that you're talking about there. Contact the light about Brexit. I think the current fault is that players from abroad have to be paid over a certain threshold if they can. If they want to renew, they have to be paid by a certain amount, played a certain amount of games. Yes. I don't know how it's going to affect it. I don't really get involved.
Just quickly, mate, just talking about bald. I see someone put a comment on post-match pint about the three of us saying bald, almost bald, and should be bald. And I'm like, hang on a minute. Why should I be bald? Have I got to join the gang or something?
Yeah, I don't get that, mate.
I'll shave me nut off then. I'll do it.
No,
just
don't
to please them.
Don't do that. Scott will catch up before you do.
Scott's got 3 haircuts left.
Yeah, 3.5. I'll give him. JDB football is Saturday the best time to play City. Maybe we can catch them off guard.
I don't think any time's a good time to play City. They're going to be up for it. But as you said, look, it could be a good time to play them. As you said, the thing is, Liverpool play on the Friday night. Now, Liverpool got Norwich at home. So if Liverpool get off to a great start, they win 3 or 4 or 5-0, City ain't going to want to be trailing after a game. It might only be 3 points, but look, City only won it by a point last season, so that could be massive. So they're going to want to get their 3 points on the opening day. So it's going to be tough.
Contact the Light said, I thought all West Ham fans were bored. We are, mate. That's the syrup he's got on.
Yeah, I've got one of them stuck on wigs.
Cam Reader says, Nicky should grow a beard. I've grown beards in the past, mate. I've grown beards in the past. I don't really like them. They get a bit itchy for me. Let's have a look. Right, there's one for you.
Is Graham going? Oh, don't. I'm excited. Graham's back on Saturday. I think it's only for 1 week, but
1 week only.
The big man's back. I can't wait. I've missed looking to my left and just seeing him all dazed and confused, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Still thinking he's 1991.
Yes, Graham, do the starting lineup. Phil Parks, Ray Stewart, Alvin Martin.
Caught your McAfee, will it?
Yeah, no, I love Graham. I can't wait to see him. I'm going to give him a big cuddle, and we're going to have a few drinks after as well. And I've told he actually messaged me earlier saying he's bringing his dancing shoes with him. So if you're out in Stratford after the game, look, watch out.
Lewis Mann says, do you think with such a strong window from most clubs, the league's going to be more competitive than ever? Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one this year, to be honest.
Me and my mate was talking about this in work earlier, and I think this is going to be one of the most competitive seasons ever in the Premier League, because near enough every team is strengthened, and they've strengthened well. And as we know, on the day, anyone can beat anyone. So it's going to be an interesting Premier League season.
Any special plans for pre-game on Saturday?
It's hard with the early kickoffs, isn't it? Because we obviously, I think we're going to do a live show early in the morning. We're
going to try, but yeah, it's early, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if we was to do a live show, we'd have to do it about 8 o'clock in the morning because you've got to get from Wickford to the stadium. So
yeah,
with the early kickoffs, it's a bit tough. But no, there'll be definitely loads after the game. You'll probably see a few drunk Instagram videos as well.
Have you done, Simon Homer says, have you done predictions video for this season? Because that reaction video to last season's predictions was quality. So many laughs and some dodgy picks. Absolutely, mate, we have. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's up on the channel now. It was, when did it go up? Monday, I think.
James Fever, a little bit of feedback for you. Watched your interview with Cole and Konchesky. It was great, lads. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I loved it. I love Cole and Konchesky. Great.
Who would be, Stinking That says, who would be our main rivals this season? I think it would be Wolves and Everton.
Yeah, Wolves, Everton and Leicester. Yeah, I think that's about right. I think we're going to be in that little mix with them sort of teams. I think there might be someone like a Southampton, as I said the other day, chucked in there as well. Look, you don't know what Aston Villa are going to do this season. You know, the players they've signed, that maybe they could be up there. It's going to be an interesting season, but I definitely think Wolves, Everton and Leicester are sort of our main sort of rivals for that Europa League spot.
Fraser 2005, do you think this will be Cullen's last loan before getting into the team or finding a new one?
No, I think that's it for Josh Cullen now. I think he's got a year left on his contract. He had a chance in pre-season in training and the game time that he got to impress Pellegrini, and I don't think he has. And I think it's sad because I like Josh Cullen, but I just don't think it's going to work out for him at West Ham. And I think that's sadly going to be his time at West Ham.
Jordan Hugh Goat scored in his first QPR game.
Yeah, it was a great finish as well. But I think that's his level.
Look who's in the thingy. West Ham 11th Joke Club.
I'd like to see their reaction to their transfer video because I bet that's been a busy one.
Yeah, I bet signings coming in.
We signed that Japanese striker Fuki No One.
Fucking no one, yeah. James Cole says, how do you feel about Grady Diangana on loan to West Brom? We spoke a little bit about that earlier, James. I know that you might have only just joined into the chat, but we spoke about that a bit earlier. You can go back and watch it. We don't want to bore everyone that's been in here all the time. Do you wish Andy Carroll worked out better, or are you happy he's left?
Yeah, of course. Look, people know my feelings on Andy Carroll. I do like him, but it hasn't worked out for him, and I wish he would have stayed fit, and he would have been, he's had a tough few seasons. It's been frustrating for us fans as well. Yeah, so look, I hope it works out for him in Newcastle. I just hope he just have 2 dodgy games if he plays in the games against us next season.
All right, we're going to start wrapping it up now. Any female West Ham fan TV presenters? Unfortunately, not, mate. Not this season, anyway.
Unless you want to put Dan in a wig and a dress.
Yeah. Or me, or you.
Yeah.
You've already got a Syrup one, so it might be.
Yeah.
Ironworks 1990 prediction, rent Chelsea. No, I'm not reading that. Sorry. Green Street, with how many points do you think we will finish this year? I'll go for 60 points to 65. Your thoughts? That's a hard question.
Pellegrini's targeting like 76 points, I think, which was third, which would have took you third last season. I think that's a bit over ambitious, but look, I want to hear that from my manager. I don't want him to say, "Oh, yeah, we're looking to just stay up or get to 40 points and see what happens." So, yeah, I think around the 60-point mark would be good return. 60, 65 be a good return for West Ham.
Listen, mate, there's always an old saying: aim for the moon, and if you land, if you miss it, you'll land on top of the rest. That's always. I always think about that. For me, anything that's not 7th is a failure. False. I think that's a bit much, Sam.
I think if we don't, I mean, we finished 10th last season. So if people look at it like this: if we finish 9th, it's still improvement. It's still improvement as long as we have a good cup run. But look, we all want to be in that top 7. I think the next level for West Ham now to attract other bigger players is to try to get in the Europa League.
Absolutely. Stinking that just says that, just backing up there. Europe, aim for the stars or you land on the moon. You mean? Nah, that's not what I meant. I meant what I said. Aim for the moon, and if you miss it, you land on top of the world. Peter Glynn said, "Are we concerned on the backup keepers for cups? Why didn't we try Martin in pre-season?" I don't know. Yeah,
look, I think both the signings and the goalkeepers was a weird choice, really. But look, Roberto's our number 2. He's obviously going to play in the cups. But I've said this last season. I always think you should play your strongest team, and if Fabianski's fit, then I'd play Fabianski in the cups. Because if you got to an FA Cup quarter-final, semi-final, and you've played Roberto or say you get to the final, and you've played Roberto in all the previous rounds, what do you do in the final? Do you play him or do you stick with Fabianski?
I'm not one of these sort of like cup game sort of changing. I know that they need rests and all that sort of thing, but if they're fit, they play for me. We come unstuck last year doing that against Wimbledon. We found ourselves 3-0 down pretty bloody sharpish before we had to bring on Anderson. and the big boys, and by then it was too late. It was too late, and we shot ourselves in the foot, really. Mulch Mike says 128. Mulch Mike 128. Do you think that Wolves will have as good a season as last time? Because if so, we'll have to really be strong if we want Europe. Wolves are a good side, but
yeah, but don't forget, Wolves are in Europe, isn't they?
Europe,
so
yeah.
It could. We've seen it over the years. It happened to us. It happened to Burnley as well. When Burnley had that great season, the next season after they struggled. So, yeah, Wolves have got a great setup there. Good manager, and they're going to be a threat still.
How many games will Ayeti play this season?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I haven't seen him, but it also depends. If Hernandez does leave in the next 3 weeks, then he'll obviously get more game time.
The thing is, I see the announcement video, and to me, this is the problem with Hernandez. I think he's been a top quality striker for most of his life. Unfortunately, he's been a top quality striker off the bench for most of his life. He's been at massive clubs, Real Madrid, Manchester United, etc., etc. Ended up with who do we sign him off of? Wolfsburg, Leverkusen. Okay, so they were good. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's got the desire to be at West Ham. I don't think he's got the desire. He doesn't strike me as a sort of person. Look, I can say it personally. Yeah, I can say it personally. I remember I went to the training ground. I'm not an autograph hunter, not by a long shot, but a friend of mine's daughter tragically died at a very young age, and they held a benefit night for her. And I personally went and got a load of photos, shirts, and etc., etc. And I took them to the training ground myself. I remember I think it was a transfer deadline day, mate, last year, if I remember rightly. And I went down to the training ground, stood in the pissing down the rain, waiting for players to come out. Now, most come out if you go to the West Ham training ground now, there's 2 gates. There's one that's right on the entrance, the Rush Green entrance, where we saw, where I don't like sort of add the background for my video, and there's a gate that's just further on, yeah. And if someone sort of drives that way, you wouldn't be able to catch them before they get out, yeah. Everybody sort of come past, even Arnie, to his credit, come past. He stopped for the fans, sort of sign autographs and that. Hernandez, he was like a Formula One driver. He come towards the gate, turned left, so like everybody was there. It was kids and whatever. Sure, man, I was Nicky. I saw you and Dan on that day. Yeah, absolutely, mate. He turned left and he fucking flew out that gate as fast as he could. Didn't have any sort of desire to talk to anyone or sign anything for anyone. I don't think he's got the desire to be here. I don't think he likes it. We see it in his vlog earlier on in the summer, that he thinks it's best he goes, and he thinks that it's best that he leaves, and West Ham have agreed. So there's obviously sort of like an understanding there. I just don't think he's got I don't think he's got the stones for it all. Do you know what I mean? He gets paid a lot of money. And
he's our highest earner, isn't he?
He's by far our highest earner, I think. And the thing is with him is, I think he might drop behind Ayeti, because Ayeti will be young. He's hungry, and I think that the fire's gone out of Hernandez's belly. I think he's ready to go to sort of settle down in America, or go back to Spain and enjoy the weather and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and it's not the first time I've heard a story about Hernandez at the training ground. I mean, someone even tweeted out the other day he was the only one that didn't stop. So, yeah, I don't know about him, but just quickly, mate, I've just seen I see a question. I had to pause it. It was from Heinz Schenk. Yeah, it's got, good thing that you have already increased the quality of the channel this season, and that's what you promised. And yeah, that is what we promised, and that's what we're trying to do. And I've had a few people message me saying about the quality of content we've been doing the last few weeks and all summer. So it's nice that we get feedback like that, because we do want to grow this channel, and it's little things like this live show as well. It goes down really well, and we enjoy doing it.
Who said that, mate? Sorry,
Heinz Schenk, I think it was.
Okay.
I think I've said it right. I'm not sure. That's the one. Yeah.
That's the one, yeah. Good thing that you've already...
Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
And that's what you promised. I'm going to let you into a bit of a secret. We have a lot of help behind the scenes, of course, but Ryan will back me up here. We have worked non-stop since we've done that video. When was it, Ryan? May? End of May, when we was outside the stadium.
Oh, at the end of the season prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sort of review of the season. And since that day, I have worked non-stop on all different sort of like aspects of the channel, trying to increase the quality, coming up with new strands. You'll back me up, right? I ain't stopped. And to be honest with you, I've got a holiday coming up. I'm going to miss a couple of games next season, 2 before the international break. And I'll be honest, I need it because I've worked doubly hard.
Yeah, no, it's been a long summer, but I think with a channel, if you want to grow it, you've got to keep the content coming thick and fast, and we have been. You've done some live videos today. You've been on it. I ain't always got that luxury because obviously at work I can't just go and do a live video or whatever. But we've kept the videos. Dan's been doing the transfer videos as well. We've had the social. We've done these live shows. And
we lost Scott for the summer, which was...
we haven't had Scott. He's been out for make it sound like he's been out of an injury, didn't I? But
no.
He's been away for a little while. So, but he's back now. He had his first preview go out today, which went down really well. Looked fresh and sharp. Scott looking well. Good to have him back. The team are back. We've even got Graham on Saturday.
Yeah,
that's the signing of the summer, mate.
Randy Jackson says, "Yeah, I think you better cancel the holiday, lad. Growing is the key, right?" Well, I've got a good team that are fully trust in that.
We all deserve a holiday.
Curtis WHFTV Tate says, "Keep up good work, Nicky. I seen you Saturday on the boat and gave you a wave. I'm sure I'll wave back, mate, if I saw you." Chelsea, greatest team in London, says, "I miss Upton Park. Proper good times in the 90s." Yeah, we had good times, mate. Credit goes to you boys because you've given people like myself and other fans a platform to showcase their views on it. The football club, we all have the same passion, and I love it. Dave Lash says, "Has the atmosphere at the London Stadium changed? How are the upgrades to the stadium? Is the board investing in facilities?"
I think
bits and pieces.
I think the atmosphere. I think the atmosphere's got a lot better over, especially last season. I think it was better, but I've always said, whatever happens on the pitch affects the atmosphere in the stands. And if we're playing well and we're doing well, we're going to back the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen... I was meant to send you this earlier. Have you seen Evie D at the Emirates today?
I see something of him sitting in on a cannon with a wig on.
With a belt.
He walks around with that boxing belt, and he won't ever defend.
What the fuck is going on? What's going on at the Emirates?
But this is one of the things with. I mean, he gets linked. He's nothing to do with Arsenal Fan TV. He gets linked with Arsenal Fan TV because he's been on it before. But Robbie's a hard worker, and things like that is. I mean, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, Arsenal Fan TV are embarrassing" and things like that. But it wasn't an Arsenal Fan TV video. It was Evie. What's it? Evie D. Boom. Whatever his name is, Colin.
It's crazy, isn't it? I just think it's madness. Let's have a look, see what we got here. We're going to start wrapping up in a minute, mate.
I've got to go lakeside in a minute.
Matt Gidman says every day is a total plonker. Ruben Blosh, only benefit of poor result is seeing Dom Gann absolutely mental. I think he's calmed down a little bit over the last couple of years. Toby G, we will win our first league game against Man City due to our signings. Stefan Barnes says Arsenal Fan TV is pure comedy gold. Robbie is a very good friend of mine, and I'm telling you now, he works very, very hard. And he cares more about Arsenal than anyone I know. So don't label everyone under that banner. Chelsea don't have a noble type of loyal player, just a higher paid flops with crap haircuts. Where's the dead pixel gone? It's gone. It's gone.
It'll be back.
It'll come back. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I'll
hang on a minute. It's deadline day and the pixel's gone. Who's he gone to? Who have you loaned him out to?
I've loaned him to Graham.
to the other iMac.
Yeah, but I've got an option to recall him now. Was thinking the same thing. Can you get Gio and Gonzo on post-match pint? They do their own shows, mate. They've got their own channel to
Gio's been on post-match pint
Gio's been on
a few
post-match pint
times.
before, yeah, when we've done it on the boat and stuff. How do you think VAR will work? I tell you, a decision gets made. This is what I think is going. Decision gets made, and then they look at a telly, and the geezer goes over, runs, goes watches the telly. They go backwards and forwards, and then he decides by that what's on the telly whether or not he made the right decision. That's how it'll work. I bet you. 60+ minutes of football talk is brilliant. Thanks, lads. Enjoy my holiday so Nicky doesn't have to.
Get Mike on Monday on. I want my Mike on Monday on here.
No, thank you. I miss that pixel more than Arnie, says Tim Cummins. All right, let's wrap it up because we're just rattling on now a little bit.
But just quickly, if you want to rate the transfer window out of 10, what are you going to give it? I'll give it a 7. What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it an 8.
I knew you would.
I will. No, I might even be giving it an 8.5. I think it's been absolutely excellent. I've not been worried one bit.
I'm only going for a 7 because we haven't the centre midfielder we didn't strengthen and the left back. But
that is true. Yeah, the centre midfielder we could have done with.
Yeah, all right. At a push, I'll go an 8 as well then because Fornals and Allaire excite me.
Yeah, some very quality signings there. Some brilliant for the future. Fat Shack says, I feel like it's going to be a cracker of a season. I just can't wait to enjoy some good West Ham United football. And of course, some West Ham TV. Right, Ryan, I'll see you again on Monday. We'll be together on Saturday, but I'll see you back here on Monday.
I was going to say, you're not going to talk to me on Saturday then? You're just going to keep walking away. Every time I talk to you on post-match pint, you're going to sit there like that.
Enjoy Lakeside, mate. I'm sure it'll be wonderful at this time of night.
I won't be there long, mate. Trust me.
Thank you very much for everybody that's joined us in the chat today. We always love interacting with you guys, and that's what this is all about. We've got some T-shirts, and they are very, very close. And I haven't revealed them to anybody yet, but you've had a look at them, Ryan. What do you reckon?
Yeah, they're nice. They're really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing the reaction to them. There's some retro designs in there.
Modern, retro.
There's some modern, retro players. It's yeah, I just can't wait to launch.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely brilliant. Look, someone's just donated £5. Have a drink on me. Thank you so much for that. You don't have to donate, of course. George Perry says, really, really, Nicky? I said, yeah, really, 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 really.
Really, really, really want a zig.
Exactly. Go and check out all our other content. I've done about 4 videos today, so there's plenty to watch. There'll be some coming up tomorrow. I'm bringing back the musings next week, definitely, 100%. And one thing left to say.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons. See you later, mate.
Good night.